right now on an extended edition of Primetime.
Who is the former WWE and ECW star who is joining the PWR team for a special series of reports on the road to Lockdown and WrestleMania? Find out tonight.
What footage leaked from WWE this week that has caused outrage amongst CM Punk fans? We have the footage and the discussion tonight.
What does Stone Cold Steve Austin have to say about the current state of the WWE? You might be surprised at some of the criticism that he has for the company.
I have a very special interview with TNA star Ethan Carter III that you don't want to miss.
Find out all this and more, including the Wildcard Fantasy Draft and this week's SmackDown ticket winners, right here, right now on Primetime TV for Saturday, February 15th, 2014.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. A huge episode here. Damian Nelson along with David Octavius Tiberius, the alleged backyard one-time knockout Hall of Fame.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, straight edge, goat face,
leading
Viper.
super friend leading
Hero.
In the draft.
It is a big episode, as I said. We've got our wild card draft picks today, a big interview with Ethan Carter and more. But before we get to that, let's go to this week's top story, ladies and gentlemen, and pay close attention because it is a doozy, and I'm sure you will have some very pointed opinions on it. CM Punk. There's that name again. He's now on day 20 of his WWE walkout, yet he still remains in the minds of many fans and also in the news. Matter of fact, this past Monday night, things got a lot more interesting due to two things that happened during WWE Raw. The first, clearly not intended to be released, was a pre-show footage of the Los Angeles fans chanting CM Punk and the off-the-air reactions of Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and JBL on commentary. Let's take a look at that clip right now, and more importantly, listen to that clip right now. And when we come back, we'll discuss what happened.
There you go. That'll drown out soon. How about go away? Go away. Go away. Go away. It doesn't last long, does it?
No, it doesn't. There's not a lot of determination to that chant.
Well, there's the clip, folks. You see it in its entirety, in the flesh, if you will. The crowd chanting CM Punk, Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and JBL saying, well, that won't last long. And how about go away?
But who are they talking about? I mean, maybe there was that, some annoying person around them is telling him to
You
go
weren't
away.
there.
Well, no, I'm not annoying. You know what? They need to relax. It's three guys, three pals, talking nonsense.
A lot of fans.
Trying to pop each. How many times do you and I say things off air that's just meant for you and I, to entertain ourselves?
You do a lot, but I always realize that this microphone is on, and it's always being recorded.
But that's fine. I'm not afraid of people hearing the things that I say, because what I say is the truth.
But does this, well, I've got another final word on this at the end of this segment, but the question I'll ask you right now, does this say anything about Punk's reputation in WWE by three of the people who are in the know saying these words about him?
Well, it's also three guys that have had a longer career, that have been on Raw longer than CM Punk has had a career almost, too, if you think about it. I mean, he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It's no secret. A lot of people are annoyed by his attitude.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease?
Or it gets replaced. Sometimes you just kick it off and get a new one.
That's why there's a spare in the trunk?
Always, or under the car.
Last week we talked about who that spare might be. I still think it should be Dolph Ziggler. You think it should be Cesaro.
It's now just Cesaro, by the way.
Why you want to spoil the hot news coming up later? Don't you read your run sheet? There's more, though, to this story, folks. The next thing that happened was when another CM Punk
hot
chant
news is
broke
on
out.
page 2. I'm still on the first page here. How would I know that?
Another CM Punk chant broke out during a commercial break, and Seth Rollins grabs the microphone and said, and I quote, CM who?
Huh?
Followed by much more. Now, this was no mistake, as it aired on the WWE app for the world to see. So let's take a look at exactly what Seth Rollins said.
You are all about footage today, aren't you?
In this clip.
Footage.
From Raw.
CM who? Huh? That's Dean Ambrose right there. That's the United States champion. That's the man you all wish you could be, and that's the man all your ladies want to be with tonight.
Seth Rollins.
Yes.
I mean, you just saw it right there. I mean, I would have thought, now we know Seth Rollins and CM Punk to a degree sort of came up together. And you would think that they are friends. How did we get to the point where he would get on the microphone and address that? Was there a purpose?
It's very simple. Let's just say somebody told him, hey, Seth Rollins, you're going to go out there and you're going to do this. But because they have to keep the heat on the Shield because they're kind of getting a babyface reaction.
But here's the thing, it worked. They stopped chanting Punk.
Yeah.
By the time came back from commercial break, didn't hear it. And earlier we heard JBL, Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, one of the three of them say, that'll drown out soon. Mm-hmm. And we talked about that last week. That seems to be WWE's method for dealing with these chants is keep talking, keep going, act like they're not there.
And do you know why they drown out? Because they're not there. So they're going to chant the entire time and have no payoff?
It's going to be a problem, though, come 2 weeks in Chicago. March 3rd.
You know what? It might be a problem a little bit, but you watch. Listen, the machine is brilliant, and they keep rolling all the time. They will give Chicago such a healthy dose of Daniel Bryan that they'll have no choice but to be chanting yes all night.
Money in the Bank. You were there.
Of course I was, but so was CM Punk. CM Punk won't be in Chicago.
And that is the problem. Because Chicago will expect him, they will want him, they will cheer for him, they will chant for him. They will be relentless on that Raw episode.
I disagree. I think, yes, it will happen, but it's not going to be for 3 hours. First of all, the people in Chicago can't go that long.
How dare you say something about the fans so close to our home market here in Milwaukee?
Have you listen, you know how I feel about Chicago. Traffic is the only good thing about Chicago is Lisa's restaurant.
Let's sum it up, folks, in this week's final word, my final word on this topic yet again. Well, these two clips...
Wait. Where's the elevator music in the background? No?
These two clips do seem to show one thing. CM Punk may not be as popular within his own company as he is with the fans. While not unusual for one of the quote-unquote boys to be disliked backstage, I think it's telling what his own peers have said about him. Some fans have said that Cole, Lawler, and JBL were quote-unquote disrespectful to Punk with their comments, but that was not the case at all. They were simply reacting to what was happening around them. There are questions about exactly who they wanted to go away, but I think it was pretty clear that they were referring to Punk. Regardless of all this, my comments from last week stands. I want to see Punk back on the wrestling scene, but after this week, I'm unsure if that means in the WWE. It's the final word on that, and that is this week's big story, folks. And it's time for a timeout. When we come back, it's time to dig into the draft a little bit. We'll be back in a moment.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, the insurance company may try to stop you from getting what's fair.
After my car wreck, the insurance company tried to stop me from getting what was fair. I called Gruber Law Offices.
Be careful. Call us right away.
They better be careful. Now I've got Gruber Law Offices.
Call us. Let us get started on your case right now.
They green-lighted my case and got me $100,000.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Call 276-6666.
It's time to shake things up again. The PWR draft ends at WrestleMania, and the stakes are about to get much higher. As you know, each team was selected last April, and now it's time for the wild card picks. Over the course of tonight, each team will be able to replace up to 10 of their talents with new selections. Earlier today, both Damian and Dave locked in the 10 stars that they will keep on their teams, and now it's time to make the first selections.
Thank you, Linda, and I always love this time of year because it's time for me to once again just polish off my little trophy here and be prepared to win yet again the draft. I'm going to be a three-time draft winner, David Hero. And how does that make you? You might be in the lead now, but come Elimination Chamber, Lockdown, and WrestleMania, you're going to be back there in the dust again. I can only hope that it's somebody like Heath Slater, who again gives me the win in the draft at the last minute.
That hurts me.
Be that as it may, since I am currently a little bit deficient in points, I will go with the first pick.
Deficient.
And ladies and gentlemen, you see who I've kept? You saw who I kept just a little while ago. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add number 11. My first pickup in the wild card draft is none other than the man who will be in the main event at WrestleMania 30, Batista. Sure did.
You took the guy that I said I wanted.
Well, it doesn't matter. It was my pick.
But you don't like Batista. You call him Bautista all the time.
I've never referred to him as Bautista.
Oh, off air you have.
No, I never have.
Just our
no,
cameras
never
haven't
have. Don't
picked it
try to.
up.
Why don't you pick somebody? We got a limited time here.
Well, I'm going to take the main event of WrestleMania. I'm going to take The Undertaker.
Oh, that's going to get you about 13 points.
He's not going to lose.
You never know.
Hope he shows up.
All right, time for another pick. Another pick. Another pick.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Sheamus.
Nobody has Sheamus?
Nobody has Sheamus. No, this guy has Sheamus. I've got Sheamus.
That's a great pick for you.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I'm going to take the TNA World Impact Heavyweight Champion.
The TNA World Impact Heavyweight Champion.
Magnus.
I'm sorry. One more time.
Magnus.
Okay. A TNA guy.
Yeah. He's the world champ.
He is
I
the world
expect him
heavyweight
to retain
champion.
that lockdown. That's
Against
points.
Samoa Joe?
Absolutely.
We'll see. All right, well, the draft picks continue tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time, and there's
I
still
think it's
so
8
much
more guys yet?
So much more to come here on this
God.
broadcast, which of course does again extend after we go off the air here on My24 Milwaukee on our YouTube channel and at PWRshow.com. Pro Wrestling Report, a special 1 hour long edition all the way through WrestleMania each and every week right here on the Pro Wrestling Report on My24 Milwaukee and PWRshow.com.
Sounds like it's all you. No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, like any fine economy.
All right, so that was 2.5 minutes. Now we've got the video.
I got my text yesterday.
Yeah.
CM Punk's not come back. Good riddance. Thank God.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night here on My24 Milwaukee. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero, and it's time for this week's hot news, which, of course, are all the headlines you need in around 2 minutes or less. For those of
I
you
thought it was 90 seconds.
who are keeping score at home. WWE announced this week that former WWE Diva and Women's Champion Lita is the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. Lita joins the already announced Jake Roberts and The Ultimate Warrior in the ceremony set to happen in New Orleans as part of WrestleMania weekend. Speaking of the WWE Hall of Fame, it was revealed in an interview with Triple H at WWE.com earlier this week that the Hall of Fame ceremony will air in its entirety live on the WWE Network on April 5th. The network launches with a 1-week free trial on February 24th, which is the day after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view from Minneapolis. WWE has tweaked the names of 2 of its stars this past week. The company is now referring to Antonio Cesaro as simply Cesaro and Intercontinental Champion Big E Langston simply as Big E. It is unknown why the names were tweaked, but it will certainly lead to better marketing and merchandise opportunities with each star. Former WWE, WCW, and TNA star Jeff Jarrett has made his first video comment since his departure from TNA a while back. Jarrett gave some details on his upcoming wrestling project, saying that he has been scouting talent in the United States, Mexico, Japan, India, Australia, and Europe, and that he quote-unquote can't wait to make a formal announcement. Jarrett, of course, did release a video during the Super Bowl that simply said, "It's coming." No other details are available, but in case you don't remember, TNA was originally founded by Jeff Jarrett. PWR will keep you up to date on with developments on these stories as they become available at PWRshow.com. And that's it for this week's hot news.
Do you think Lita is Hall of Fame worthy?
You know, I thought about that, David Hero, and I'm not sure. I almost went back to whether or not Edge was.
Well, I think Edge was, but maybe not
If
so
Edge was,
quick.
then yes, exactly, not so quick. Lita, I think she's worthy, yes.
More so than Luna Vachon? More so than Ravishing Rick Rude, King Kong Bundy, Miss Elizabeth, Macho Man?
No. But it's a loaded Hall of Fame, and they need a girl.
They've only had 3. This is only the 3rd one.
Jake the Snake, Ultimate Warrior, and now Lita? That's a loaded Hall of Fame.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think the best Hall of Fame was WrestleMania 21.
Let's go to this week's WWE Raw report, ladies and gentlemen, and let's talk about the matches. In the main event, it was John Cena versus Randy Orton. John Cena gets the win as Randy Orton continues his matches with all participants in the Elimination Chamber matchup. This match went 21 minutes, David Hero. John Cena wins, and unfortunately, while the match was not at all bad, actually it was a good match.
It was probably the best match they've had in a long time.
Exactly. The fans could have cared less, and quite frankly, this fan could have cared less as well.
Do you know why you cared less? Because it was Cena and Orton again. If you just get past the bias that you all have, okay, for John Cena, and realize what a good match it was, you would have appreciated the talents in that ring.
But you understand why that was not the
because
case.
everybody wants to see Daniel Bryan.
No, I don't even think this was a Daniel Bryan situation.
I don't even know if Daniel Bryan could have had that good of a match with either one of those 2 guys.
He has.
That match told a great story.
Does Randy Orton lose every match? He lost last night on SmackDown again.
If it's up to me, Randy Orton loses every match but wins at the Chamber. Because now what he's doing is he's making everybody in that Chamber match stronger.
Makes them look like actual viable
contenders. Yes.
Contenders. And everybody's beating them clean.
See? It's all right in front of us again.
Cameron teams up with the Bellas to take on your dear friend Alicia Fox and Oksana. About a 5-minute Divas matchup. And AJ Lee, yes. Yeah. The Divas champion.
You know what? Those 6 have
Who's her boyfriend?
AJ? I heard he quit. I forgot what his name was. It's been like about 20 days since he's been on TV. But those 6 have actually been pretty solid lately. Oksana's getting a lot better.
Yeah, she is. Absolutely, she is. Mark Henry gets a win over Dean Ambrose, but that match going about 8 minutes. But I think what's more important is how we got there. Earlier in the night, backstage, interview with Renee Young. Dean Ambrose is asked by Renee about the defense of his United States Championship, a point we've made on this broadcast before. And then his dear close personal friend, Roman Reigns, starts also challenging him about defending that championship. Ambrose saying he would issue an open challenge. And we were left out of that promo looking like Roman Reigns might be the guy who would be that open challenger. However, it would be Mark Henry who would win that match by disqualification.
And again, nobody complains about Mark Henry. I don't get it.
What do you mean complains about Mark Henry?
Mark Henry should have defeated Dean Ambrose. Should have beaten him.
And taken the title?
Absolutely.
Really? Why?
Yes,
a United States Championship for Mark Henry?
Because so many title matches are non-title matches or disqualifications, and the champions are losing. Let them lose then.
The Usos defeated the team of Ryback and Curtis Axel, and dang, the Usos looked great this past Monday night, David Hero.
You know, 6-7 months ago, the Usos were kind of stuck in tag team purgatory, and they have definitely gotten in far better ring shape. And you know, you almost have to thank that Total Divas TV show. It has given them a little crossover appeal and made them bigger stars and an investment by the fan base. And they've been really, really solid.
Going forward, I think, including on last night's SmackDown, we're going to see that the Usos are definitely contenders for the Tag Team Championships. And back to, when you talk about the Tag Team Championships, is it not worth noting, and I think we've made this point here, that the Tag Team Champions of Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, there's a lot of people that are going to benefit from that, from working with those 2 veterans in the ring, and the Usos might be one of those teams.
Well, and the New Age Outlaws, one of the best tag teams of the Attitude Era, if not the best tag team. I mean, you know, think about it. It was the Outlaws, it was the Hardys, it was Team 3D, it was Too Cool, it was Edge and Christian. Great tag teams then. And now if they're going to truly reinvent or reestablish the tag team division, what better tag team to have work with them than Road Dogg and Billy?
Who did Dolph Ziggler piss off? You notice his entrance this past Monday night? I'm here to say blah, 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 blah. He gets down to the end of the ramp. It's like the record stopped, and then here comes ADR, and then he beats him in 1 minute and 34 seconds, did Alberto Del Rio with the swift kick to the head.
Wait. I mean, the guy that everyone says should take CM Punk's spot?
I still say that. I'll say that sitting here right now. Dolph Ziggler is championship material.
You know what? Then maybe what they're doing is they're laying the groundwork for that, for Dolph Ziggler to then get his own CM Punk type promo.
I don't know if that house is going to stand if this is the groundwork they're laying.
Of course. Certain guys can lose every week.
Does Alberto Del Rio need to be stronger going into what is probably a match with Batista at Elimination
You know what?
Chamber?
I didn't like the fact that Batista comes out and kills Del Rio, and then they set up a match. I already saw the babyface get his heat back on Del Rio, so he's already better than him. Why do I want to see that match now?
We'll talk about more matches from WWE Raw as we go into overtime at PWRshow.com as the Pro Wrestling Report
Overtime?
continues.
We're doing this
after
hour
it's off
thing
the
again?
air here on My 24 Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. On Tuesday, February 25th, WWE returns for the first time in 2014 with a huge WWE SmackDown. See all your favorite superstars live, including John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Alberto Del Rio, the Deranged Wyatt family, the Hounds of Justice, The Shield, and many more. WWE SmackDown live in Milwaukee, Tuesday, February 25th. Tickets are available. WWE, the best value in entertainment.
Congratulations to Amy Racer. You just scored 2 tickets to WWE SmackDown. Entries will be reset tomorrow morning at PWRshow.com, so be sure to head on over and enter to win from PWR and My 24 Milwaukee. Ticket winners can pick up their tickets starting Monday at the My 24 studios in Milwaukee.
Welcome back, folks, to the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time. A loaded show this week. Ethan Carter coming up in just a few minutes, a special interview. And it's also the wild card draft. Only 3 events left in the draft. We have already made 2 selections. Now it's time for 2 more selections, David Hero. And the time is mine to pick my next selection here for the draft. And I've already picked up Batista. I've picked up Sheamus. Well, I'm also going to pick up, ladies and gentlemen, the next person on my list will be Goldust.
Oh, come on. You know, you're cheating off my list.
How's that?
Because I had Goldust next.
Well, you don't have Goldust now.
No, I don't.
And you're still next, so who's your pick?
Bobby Roode from
Really?
TNA Impact
Pays to be
Wrestling.
rude?
It does pay to be rude.
Huh. I like that. I like
do,
that.
too. I like it a lot.
I like that.
A lot.
All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, is another pick here for the Nelson family, the winning team, as you know, and we're going to go with Samoa Joe. Sure did.
That baffles me. It really
Why does that?
I'm just surprised.
I think he might beat Magnus at Lockdown in the cage.
You do?
And take the championship, absolutely.
Huh.
Samoa Joe is fantastic this past Thursday at Impact. 30 seconds for your pick.
I'm going to go with... I need points. I need guys
Yes,
that
you need points.
I do. I need guys that can win matches on pay-per-views. Ken Anderson.
Not a bad pick. Lots of TNA action here.
Well, I'm going to be in Miami. I got to cheer for somebody.
That's more picks to come here in the draft, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, let's take it on over to Linda Kay with this week's Event Center. Linda, take it away.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. HBK is coming to Milwaukee. See the WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels at the World of Wheels in Milwaukee at State Fair Park next Saturday, February 22nd from noon to 3 p.m. Get details and more information now at Autorama.com. Ring of Honor Wrestling returns to Milwaukee on March 7th with a blockbuster show at Turner Hall. Tickets are available right now at tickets.com. GLCW is back with shenanigans at Turner Hall on Friday, March 21st, featuring Scott Hall. Get details and tickets now at blizzardbrawl.com. That's it for this week's Event Center, presented by Gruber Law Offices.
Thank you, Linda. And as we said, folks, it is WrestleMania season again, and that means it's time to welcome yet another special guest host who will guide us on the road to the most exciting time of the year for pro wrestling. PWR is pleased to welcome Al Snow to the broadcast team. Yes, indeed, Al Snow will be joining us starting next week for In Depth with Al Snow. It's going to be right here on PrimeTime each and every week, and he'll be with us all the way through WrestleMania.
How exciting is that?
30.
A voice of reason finally coming to help me out here on the show.
Well, if anybody picked up the Double D podcast this past Monday night, they heard Al Snow give a pretty passionate discussion on the state of professional wrestling, and that discussion continues on PrimeTime starting next week. So be sure to set your DVR and subscribe to us on YouTube. Be sure not to miss the ever so outspoken Al Snow as he joins the PWR broadcast team starting next week. And with that, folks, it's time to find out who this week's Diamond of the Ring is.
This week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring is my super friend who hails from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yes, Mr. Anderson. Anderson defeats Bully Ray in the casket match with the mic check into the casket, once again bringing balance to the force in TNA Impact Wrestling. This week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring, the place where they pay cash for gold, is Ken Anderson.
And with that, folks, when we come back, a special interview with EC3, Ethan Carter III.
Don't miss your chance to catch the best pro wrestling on the planet. Ring of Honor Wrestling invades Milwaukee at the Turner Hall Ballroom Saturday, March 7th with a 7:30 p.m. bell time. With appearances by Playboy cover girl and First Lady of ROH, Maria Kanellis.
You know you want to see me live and in person.
Mr. Wrestling himself, Kevin Steen.
I will package pile drive everybody.
And many more. Experience body slamming, suplex crushing, brain busting, pro wrestling action live. Visit ROHWrestling.com now for tickets and info.
Damian Nelson of the Pro Wrestling Report here at TNA Impact Wrestling, and with me is the latest prodigy, if you will, from TNA Impact Wrestling, Ethan Carter III. Ethan Carter, welcome to the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, thanks for having me.
TNA Impact Wrestling, you are one of the focal points. Obviously, your aunt, Dixie Carter. TNA Wrestling, TNA Impact over the last few weeks especially, and since you've come on board, to be honest with you, has been absolutely fantastic. What is the atmosphere like in TNA, especially coming off the heels of the big tour over in the UK that you guys did a couple of weeks back? It's got to be very energizing.
Well, I mean, you said it yourself, since I've arrived, game's changed. I guess you can call me a game changer. Coming over back from Europe has been a lot of momentum, a lot of forward progress. The proverbial youth movement has arrived in TNA, and I don't mind to be the crusader, the leader, the general, the king of it. I'm very excited to keep moving forward.
Sounds like it's all you.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, like any fine economy, you know, you have a leader, someone who's making the decisions, making the crucial things, but you have, you know, assistants per se. You have people helping from underneath, building up from the ground. I mean, I have people doing the legwork too. I mean, the bromans are out there. They're hashtag killing it. You know, Zima, hashtag killing it. Granted, I'm not a champion of Magnus's, but he's also hashtag killing it. So there's a lot of hashtag killing it going on. Hashtag killing it.
Pinot or Chardonnay?
Aqua, actually. I'm on the job, sir.
Oh, well, I heard earlier you said you like
just
wine.
kidding, a Chardonnay. Fine.
Who is on your list of opponents that you want to face in TNA Impact Wrestling of the current roster right now?
Oh man, I've beaten pretty much everyone I've faced, which has been great. There's these new characters who've shown their face. These little gruff lemmings, if you will. They're they're some sort of a tag team, proverbial greatest tag team around. I don't know. I don't really watch wrestling, but I guess they're good. The Wolves. Yeah. Davey Richards and Edward Edwards. Edwards. Okay, all right. I've watched wrestling. They're very good. They're excellent, really. But I mean, I have a problem with the amount of first names they have. Really, 4 first names. That's excessive. In addition to the Wolves, I mean, Kurt Angle, it's top of my list. I mean, if I didn't already retire him after I destroyed his knee over in Glasgow, I mean, Jeff Hardy ever wanted to decide to show his stupid singing face again, I'd love to take him on. Magnus, so I could become champ. You know, the list is long.
Well, Ethan Carter, great things, of course, ahead for you in TNA Impact Wrestling. And I'm not just saying that because Dixie told me to.
No, I know you're not. I can see your eyes. I can see you looking into my eyes. And you know what I see? Belief in the future.
The future of TNA Impact Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. He just told us so.
Beautiful brown eyes, by the way.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Ethan Carter, ladies and gentlemen, the third, here on the Pro Wrestling Report.
It's time to say goodbye to our viewers on My 24 Milwaukee. But the second half of Primetime continues online right now with our Impact and SmackDown reports, in-depth on Austin's state of WWE, DWHS, and more draft picks. All that right now at PWRshow.com and YouTube.com/MaxSports. I'm going to do that again, please. Thank you so much, Ethan Carter, the third